Welcome to another week of Celtic Chalk Talk. Steve Purciello is my name. I'm here to talk about the Boston Celtics in their last week. And let's just talk about it in a second. I'm an old Celtic fan, been rooting since the Bill Russell days, and will probably continue. And it's one of my pleasures watching a Celtic game at night. Anyway, let's go through last week. It was a 2-1 week. I'd say after the way it started, it was a good week. The first game of the week was against Indiana. That wasn't pretty. Boston went down to the level of Indiana, and they displayed something that's really bothered me. They don't contain the ball handler. They don't, and they allow the dribble drive and the kick out, and leads to open shots, which hurts them. This has been a problem on and off throughout the year. It was there against Indiana. The other thing in that game was a 26% shooting from three. You don't win. You don't win with doing that in the modern NBA, especially, and you look at it, you played against a team that has 6-7 wins, and they were able to beat you because you shot so poorly. Now, Jalen Brown was out, but you still should have enough to get by in a game like this. Boston didn't. Now, I'd be remiss not to mention the call. The call was, at the end of the game, Pascal Siakam came up and set an illegal screen. Joe Mazzulla complained about it after the game to the press. But the illegal screen, he came off the screen, got the ball, dribbled down about 10, 12 foot out, turned facing straight on, and banked a shot off. With 6 seconds left, Boston had the ball. They didn't score. Game over after it was a tie game when Siakam made his shot. The point being, that illegal screen should have been called, and Boston should have had the ball with 10, 11 seconds left and a tie game. They didn't, and that was the ball game. So that game was a tough way to lose, but it does demonstrate the value of the three-point shooting, which we'll see later in the week against Atlanta. But now they went on to Miami. First half and first couple quarters were just defensively, again, not containing the ball. Miami's knocking down shots. I'm thinking to myself, is this team not as good as what I thought they were? We're going to find out today. Along to the rescue came Anthony Simons. How did he have a game? 39 points. 39 points. In the fourth quarter, they just gave him the ball and said, go ahead and do what you have to. I think he had over 20 in the fourth. He was just beautiful to watch. The other thing that was probably not mentioned was the defense. All of a sudden in that fourth quarter, they began containing ball, stopping, making Miami take bad shots, and it just changed the whole tenor of this game. It was just great. And that, to me, I said to myself, maybe this is a turnaround, because now you're finally maybe going to play some consistent defense. Now, they won the game with White and Pritchard not scoring. Again, I talk about this a lot. You need two guys to have good games to win. They had JB and Anthony Simons. We'll talk more about Simons in a few minutes, but boy, he's becoming a valuable player, and I would be the last person to want to see him get traded. He's got too much value to this team. As a sixth man, he's paid high for what a sixth man should be paid, but it's worth every dollar they're giving him. Boston rode into Atlanta, and it was a converse with Atlanta and Indiana. All of a sudden now, Boston can shoot the three. When you shoot threes like they did, over 50%, you're going to have games where you just run people out of the gym. Sam Hauser had 10 threes. Boston shot over 50%. I can't keep saying that because it really is remarkable. Jalen Brown had 41 points. You know what? I don't even think that was one of his best games. I've seen him play much better, an all-around game. But he was tough offensively, just got things going naturally with him and Hauser. Two guys, 70 points, over 70 points they combined for. That tells you something. The other interesting thing in this game, and this is really a remarkable feat, they had over 50 points, 52 points in the second quarter. Think about that for a while. It's remarkable. The thing that tipped me off, though, that Boston might be playing good ball was in the first quarter. All of a sudden, the defense was better. They were containing the ball. They were pressuring the ball. Atlanta wasn't taking good shots. And it seemed like Boston took away the Hawks' best player, Jalen Johnson. He really struggled. I think he had 12 for the game, but he struggled, and he really wasn't a factor at any time. Neither was anybody on Atlanta, for that matter, because Boston just annihilated them, really. And it was just beautiful thing to watch as a Celtic fan. Couple notes to just talk about a little bit about. Let me talk about Anthony Simons. Sign him. Sign him again. Give him 15 to 20. If you can get him for 15 to 20, do it right away. He is of value because coming off the bench, he's a microwave. He's the old Vinnie Johnson, only from 3. The Inferno. All different names you can. Having him as a 6th man on a title team, wow, look out. Because you always have this change of pace guy that can come in and just go off at any time. And that's what he does. So I hope they don't trade him. I hope Boston keeps him, and so on. Sam Hauser. There's ups and there's downs with Sam, but he's such a good shooter. He's a 40% guy from 3. And when he's clicking like he was against Atlanta, it makes games easy. It really makes games easy. And I'd be remiss not to mention the big 3 that he knocked down in the game against Miami. Down by a point, down the 4th quarter, a couple of minutes left. Simons is taking it over, but off a little ghost screen, he drifts off to the middle and gets wide open, gets the ball, bangs that 3 home and bring Boston, get him the lead, which they never gave up. And it's just a lot to be said. Sam's a consummate pro, good defender, the big worry was always his defense. It's good. It's good enough for a shooter that I would think he's become a better player than a Duncan Robinson. And Duncan Robinson, as you all probably know, can shoot. So you're getting that, and it's a great thing to have. Now, Derek White needs to come up big. He hasn't played well in the last 2 games. I think he's an all-star. We need a good game, especially tonight against Detroit, which we'll talk more about in a second. And let's talk about it. Detroit, we're going to find out a lot about Boston. We're really going to find out a lot. If Boston wins tonight, you know what? Let's get JT healthy and let's go. Because we are close and I think we can come out of the East. Don't forget, we're on the road tonight. So if we can win on the road in Detroit, the best team in the division by record, that tells you we are good enough. And when you get the best addition you can have, an MVP candidate over the years, Jason Tatum, you figure to be a better team. Now, if we lose a close game, you're thinking with Tatum, we got a shot. We got a shot. If you get blown out, then you know what? It's been fun. It's going to be fun. Let's make some noise in the playoffs and we'll see what happens. But those are the 3 factors coming in. I look forward to the game. It'll be a great way to figure out where exactly Boston is, because I go back and forth. First game against Indiana and the first couple quarters against Miami, I said, oh, God, we're not that good. What is it? And then when the 4th quarter came, and I kept saying to myself, if we're a good team, we're going to play well here. And they did. If we're going to play well, then we'll win. And then it'll show something, character, coming back like that against Miami. And all the other good things, then maybe we are a pretty good team. The next thing I want to just talk about is like a little bit of a stock market, up or down. First one I'm going to mention is Ugo. No question, he's up. Ugo has become, if you think about going into the year, he was a late 1st-round pick from Spain, didn't even play a lot of Madrid on the team there. And you're thinking, okay, he's going to be a G Leaguer this year, and who knows? He's getting real minutes, and he's playing, and he's defensively a disruptor. Offense, he shows signs of becoming a player. I think down the road, if he becomes a better offensive player, you got to start. If not, at the very least, you've got a defensive stud. And he's built, he's strong, he's a good player. The next one is Shiman. Now, Shiman has become a good role player. He's a pretty good shooter out of the corner. I love the way he keeps the ball high, like a coach would teach somebody. Keep the ball high when he catches and then goes right up into his motion. That means it's a quick release and it's not hurting his shot in any way. That's a positive. Good out of the corners, good corner shooter, willing to take a charge, defends really well, and physical. Good player, good role player, and a good backup to use. Jordan Walsh, I can't say enough. Before the year, thought he'd be gone by now. Never thought he'd get anywhere. He's become a solid, very good defender, and he's shooting over 40 from three, which is a surprise. You never thought he could shoot that well, but he is. He's, again, all three of these guys, stock market-wise, they're ups. And then the next is Kada. Oh, God. Nimi is a 10-10 player. Who expected that coming into the year? Stock market-wise, definite up. Good player, solid, sets great screens, rolls to the basket, also becoming a very good rebounder. Remember preseason, we couldn't rebound. Nimi has helped change that. Now, his partner in this whole thing is Luca Garza, another up, another guy who has outdone what we thought he would do. He's getting a bunch of offensive rebounds. He's a problem. He can shoot a three. Defensively, he's a non-athletic player, but he hasn't really hurt Boston. He hasn't been great defensively, but it's better than what you'd expect from him. So he's a positive. The negatives, and I don't consider Minot a negative. I think Missoula just hasn't used him. He played well early in the season, and I think he can play a bit. I think he'll be okay, but it's not been a positive couple weeks for him. The other negative was Boucher, and I think Boucher will be gone if they find somebody, or he could be money in a trade. But he wouldn't be somebody that you're expecting him to play any role in the Celtics' future. That's it for this week. Tonight, we look forward to the game. It's going to be fun, and it's going to give us a read on the Celtics. Until next week, this was Celtic Chalk Talk. See you next week. Take care.